Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. Today, it's back into the big one, Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our Let's Play challenge against the devilish Mr. Lodric, and it is now February 11th, and we are going to see the combat resolutions for February 11th and February 12th of 1942. What do I have on top of my mind? Well, we're thinking about Java. We're thinking about Port Moresby, potentially the air action above and around Rangoon. Those are the main things happening on the board now. Now, I can just tell you from the benefit of hindsight now, there was more going on the board. We'll see if we see any indications of that this time. But with that great teaser, let's move on. Let's get on the board, see what happened for February 11th. Well, if I can remember, get my password in here. February 11th, February 12th of 1942, as we center over the home islands of Japan. Now, when Lodric sent me this turn, he said this was just like a nice Sunday walk. So we'll see. Um, Again, there was a lot going on behind the scenes. And you see the Japanese pick up that small base out in the Philippines that was undefended. They just walked into it. Going through all of the night phases, the first pulse of the turn. There are two different pulses in each day. Now we're playing 2-day turns, so that adds another layer to it, right? Two pulses per day, 2 days per turn. All right, Japanese ships are bombarding Manado. Manado, one of those bases, there's just not a whole lot you're going to be able to do to defend Manado. And here he has given us 37 casualties on the bombardment. He's got 2 light cruisers, 4 destroyers out here. In and around Borneo. All right, Task Force 82 is unloading troops at Ketapang. So this is on the island of Borneo. We just saw the bombardment down here at Manado. That's on Celebes. Just to the north of that is Borneo, that has Balikpapan and Tarakan, has Singkuang up and Kuching, Brunei up on the northern side. But he's now unloading. It's about right here on the map, a base on the very western portion of Borneo there. 30 ships reported in and around Rabaul. You have to think that that's probably his carrier task force. You're not often going to see 30 ships all bunched together unless there's carriers involved. Again, sighting ships. Now this is our air for our air units sighting different ships around the map. Recon, naval search. Now, I'm going to be very curious to see if I miss something this turn, and I'll point it out if we do see something, because I don't think I did. And again, I don't want to do that too much, but there's upcoming action that was potentially foreshadowed in this turn, and I just want to see if I missed it. 10 Oscars sweeping in and over Hengyang. Now he's got the bombers coming in here to this group. We've got 2 different stacks just south of Nanyang that I'm trying to get back to Aichang or otherwise. I'm trying to get them back this way. Now, you don't see any Japanese forces here, but they're out here. Our detection level just hasn't gotten them yet this turn. We damage 4 planes. We take 198 casualties. That's probably advantage Japanese. We damage 6 planes and take 28 casualties. That's probably advantage us. depending on how many of those actually made it back to base. 27 sallies in on this group stack east of Yan'an. We damaged three more, but so overall we damaged nine bombers coming in here. No idea how many of them actually went down. And we took a total with the other 28 of 44 casualties. We'll take that every time. All right, this is the southeastern stack. He comes in one damage plane, 106 casualties. That's advantage Japan, obviously. Now the other stack that's south of Nanyang, he's coming in with bombers. No damage planes, and we took 37 casualties. Then he's got a follow-up bombing group. One damaged and 60 casualties. Again, advantage Japan there. 24 Marys, hitting that same group just over and over, 33 casualties, and that softens them up. It disrupts them. It makes it much easier when he finally attacks them, and he's used that to great effect here. 44 bombers on a stack just north of Kukong. They got knocked out of here. Going to get them back up to Hanyang if we can. Two damage planes. We took no casualties on the ground. What was the weather? Heavy rain. Heavy rain. So usually when his bombing misses, it's because there's bad weather somewhere. Six Tojos sweep over Wu Chao. Two Oscars over Hen Yang. Just making sure we don't have any cap. All right, here's 26 Anns in on that stack east of Yan'an. I'm trying to get them up and out. I'm going to try to get them over to this roadway, I think. Uh, Also, I think the Japanese will eventually have a unit, units coming down here. If I can get on the road, it's possible I can cut off their supply, which is what I'd like to do. One damage hand there, because those units are so beat up at this point they're not going to do anything offensive. We may as well just hope that they can cut off somebody's supply, which I need to do more of in China, really. Fight more of a guerrilla war. 13 Sonias in on the group, they're trying to jump the river and get over here back to our lines. Two damaged planes. We did take some casualties. I didn't see the exact number. The stack south of Nanyang gets bombed again. 13 casualties on the ground there. It's just relentless. All right, nine Sonias on the group that's on the other side of the river. I'm trying to link these two up and get them back to our lines. We take 56 casualties in overcast weather. Okay, you can see his carriers. No, wrong. I should have thought it's coming this way. I think his carriers are right here, actually. These are our B-17s. I'm bringing them in very high at 25,000 feet. I'm kind of just giving him something to think about, and I didn't want him to get shot down. So I send seven B-17s over at 25,000 feet. They drop 500-pound bombs. They don't find anything. They're trying to hit the port, but at 25,000 feet, that's needle in a haystack kind of stuff. But again, it maybe gives him a little something to think about. That's all I'm really trying to do. And I didn't want to lose any planes. Normally, you'd probably want to bring those in. I don't know. The ground bombing you generally want to do at 8,000 feet. B-17s maybe a little higher than that. Eventually, later on, with the good American bombing pilots, you can run them up higher. All right, we're sighting more. We just saw a periscope by Suva. We're spotting all of his ships that are now making their way towards Java. He's going to land somewhere. We have no idea where yet, um, but he's heading that way. All right, that was fairly uneventful. We had the usual Chinese bombing. Uh, we sent our own B-17s over to Papua, but nothing much going on there. We kind of we damaged 10 or so planes. He caused some casualties on the ground, but nothing of real note. He's unloading now at that other base that's near Leh. He takes 17 casualties on the unloading. Always dangerous work unloading on a beach. All right. This is a group of troops that we have just south of Cyan. You can see, I mean, he's got us massively outnumbered. We have a couple of decent cores out here. But you can see he's got these two divisions that are really strong, and then these two divisions really strong. I'm trying to gather up what the number here is. It's well over 1,500, I think, of assault value. So, I mean, obviously we're going to get knocked back. It's just a matter of how much we lose. We do get knocked back out of that hex. Okay, that's fine. We'll get back over here in this base. I wanted to get them out of there anyway. How much did we lose though? 799 Japanese casualties. We took 3107. I mean, it's better than four. Well, it's about 4 to 1, right? A little less than 4 to 1, actually. Not a terrible result for us. Also, not a great result. He's going to land up here just south of Hollandia. Okay. In the very northern stretches of Papua. Okay. And he takes Vanimo. That's the name of that base. Now he's at Sabang. It's a Japanese deliberate attack against Sabang. We actually hold on here first time around. He took 151 casualties. We took 63. Hey, look at us. We won a battle. Now he's here at Ambon. It's an allied bombardment attack. So again, we're lobbing shells out of that base. He's sitting in the hex trying to cut off, trying to mess with our supply. But that's it. That was the land move phase. Very, very quiet turn for this game. We're not used to seeing that. There was no ship action really at all. We had our usual Chinese bombing. There's a few bases he's going after. He's attacking Sabang. He's right at Ambon. He's landing in a few different bases that are in Papua New Guinea. But overall, really quiet turn. Some AKs going out to refit. I probably would have rather that not happen, although you've got so much supply at Bombay, it's fine. Coming to the end of February 11th, these are our arrivals. That always happens last, where your new equipment arrives. We've got 19th Bombing Group showing up at Cairns. 21st Australian Brigade comes in at Aden. We got a new Chinese Corps at Chungking. All of those things very welcome. It's always fun when you're playing the Allies to get to the end of the day and see all the new stuff, all the new toys that you can move around the map. Okay, he just occupies that base that's just to the east of Leh. You can see he's got a force coming down to Leh to take that base. He's just methodically been grinding up Papua New Guinea. Okay, we've got a Dutch sub out here. We've got a Japanese PB. That has not always been going well for us, but he can't really find us here. He spotted us at some point. He located us. It was an ASW attack, so that was him finding us, but no damage on either side there. As I always say, we love quiet turns as the Allies in early, late 41, early 42. Every quiet turn that you get is just to your advantage. All right, it's daytime of the 12th. We're still seeing 22 ships out by Rabaul. That's got to be his carrier task force. You always want to know where those are, as you'll see. Okay, the SS Cachalot, our submarine, is out here right off Rabaul, where he's got all those ships, just hoping, that he'll slip in there, maybe get a shot off on a carrier or something. This was an ASW attack, but the Cachalot actually got 4 torpedoes off at the Wakataki. But nothing happened there. We didn't get hit. He didn't get hit. You can see 3 destroyers, 2 cruisers, and a light cruiser in that task force anyway. At least those are the ships we know about. Okay, our planes are reporting back any sightings now, and you can see he's coming right for Semarang. You can see his ships here. He's decided on a landing point for Java, and that looks like it'll be Semarang, which is a good place to come in as a Japanese player. It's centrally located, and so, Batavia and Surabaya, it's kind of right in between. You can go either direction. 10 Oscars up over Henyang. Now here comes the bombing to the east of Yan'an. We've been doing a good job of damaging a lot of planes. This must have a lot of AA in it, this stack. 5 damaged planes. We only took 6 casualties on the ground. We'll take that every time. It was in moderate rain, which probably didn't help him. 52 Sallies in on that same group. We damaged 5 of those. Wow. So, I mean, this group is just damaging planes like crazy. We did take 72 casualties this time, but 5 to 72, again, we don't know what makes it back or takes an operational loss. But, if we knocked a couple of bombers out of those 2 runs down, that'd be well worth it. 1 damage and 139 casualties. Now, we don't like those kind of results. All right, Anne's in on this core, just sweeping over. Group south of Nanyang, 24 Marys, 41 casualties on the ground there. There was clear skies as they saw the Japanese bombers come over. 6 Tojos running some cap sweep there just to see if we got anything in the air. He's also training his pilots by doing that, which is a side benefit. Or some Japanese players look at it as the main benefit out here is training pilots. 35 Anns come in, hit the group east of Yan'an. Yep, it's Semarang. You just don't have enough units really on Java unless you take that whole Singapore reinforcement group task force that you start the game with, and pretty much all of 3rd Indian Corps if you dump that into Java. But Java is very hard to defend. You just don't have good routes in. It's so far to get supply in there. If the Japanese bring a carrier group there, it's very hard to get any supply in. 1 damaged Dan here on the group east of Yan'an. We took no casualties. This is the group in southeastern China trying to get across the river. 13 Sonias. We took 20 casualties with 2 damaged planes. Okay, 9 more Sonias in on that group. No damaged planes, 17 casualties for us. We send more B-17s over to Buna. I'm trying to hit the port there just so, who knows. We, blow on the port here a little bit, but we're at 25,000 feet. Very, very hard to hit anything from that altitude early on. It's also overcast. Our other 3 B-17s decide to go up here and do what? Port attack. Yep, we're doing port attacks everywhere. Nothing doing there. Should probably set those to ground attacks now that he's got troops on the ground over there. Now our planes are reporting in. What have they seen? Says they're seeing something near Rockhampton. Let's hope that's not true. A periscope just north of New Zealand. We've spotted a sub almost certainly. We've got a high detection level on that off of Suva. Now he's bombing south of Nanyang. 22 casualties. Going to hit them again. This time, one damage plane, 101 casualties. We don't like that. Okay, hitting them again with 6 more bombers, 17 more casualties. It all adds up. It's paper cuts. All right, we got bombarding out of Sabang here. He's going to try to soften us up. Wow, and he really did. 420 casualties. He's also chewed up a little bit on the airbase and runway, the port hits, support supply hits. Just think of this as 1 to 100, so that kind of gives you an idea of the damage. But wow, that bombardment. It's because he's got the 2 cruisers. The cruisers, obviously, bigger guns are going to do quite a bit more damage than the light cruisers. And now you can see he's going to start bombarding Semarang, getting it ready for an amphibious invasion. 2 light cruisers. He's got 3 destroyers and an AMC out here to make sure we didn't have any mines. We take 388 casualties. His bombardment has really been strong here. He's unloading at Semarang now. Wow, they lost. They 100 or let's see, 12 support troops accidentally lost, and another 12 support troops accidentally lost. Wow. Okay. So that's the big news from this turn, really, is he has now landed on Java, or he's currently landing on Java at Semarang. That's, interesting. That's where he's going to go. Now, this group was left behind, 4th Group Army. So this is a command. Um, these guys got ejected from this hex last time. He stayed behind. What a brave, wow. Got a brave general there. Well, this time he gets knocked, back over there. We took 641 casualties there. I'm not sure why he didn't get knocked back last time. I would have much preferred that. Wow, I'm very surprised. He did not take Sabang this time. He took 25 casualties. We took 65. We've got very little um, command or attack value out there now, but we hold on for a turn. Ambon, we're bombarding yet again. He's had a really hard time out here. He just didn't bring enough troops to take it. I think we maybe surprised him because we got a few extra troops out here he wasn't expecting. Um, and they're holding on. But I think that about does it. That was the land move attack phase. So the big news here, Java has now been invaded. We'll try to hold on out there as long, you got to just slow the Japanese down. That's your only goal this early in the game. Well, you have 2 goals. Slow the Japanese down, move your pieces into play. From the U.S. West Coast, from Cape Town, from Aden, and otherwise, move your pieces where you want them, and try to slow the Japanese down with what you already have on the board. And so we're doing okay. He's certainly a little ahead of us at this moment. You can see a few more ships there I forgot to take out of upgrade. That's all right. They don't take long. Those AKLs, the AKs, is no big deal, but probably rather. Let's see what we get here at the end of the turn. Okay, we get some AKs, quite a few AKs it looks like out of Cape Town. We get an AK or a cargo ship at Aden. We also get a new squadron of airplanes at Aden and new Australian troops at Aden. And that'll do it. All right. Well, the invasion of Java is on. When we come back next time, it'll be the setup phase, February 13th. We'll go look closely at that situation. Obviously, you can't completely stop it, but it's all about slowing it down. We have good supply in both Batavia and Surabaya for now. We've also got about 3 to 400 in assault value in each of those places. So we can hold out a while. That'll be the key. Uh, anyway, thank you so much for joining me. This has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. We'll set up. We'll come back and set up next time. Have a great one. Talk to you later.